Okay, that's better. I wanted to tell you guys about an experience I had. I know this probably isn't new to most of you, but it was certainly new to me. Um, and I don't know if that's just a part of the Catholic belief uh, or where it came from. I really honestly don't know. Um, a friend of mine, parents are, well, at the time, her dad was 100 and he just turned 101, and her mother was almost 100. And I enjoyed visiting them. They're still living, they're still in the land of the living. But I enjoyed so much sitting down talking to them just about life. And it's always good to find someone that's older than me. But they were so sweet. And I had lost something. I can't remember right now. I can't remember what it was that I lost. But the daughter, their youngest daughter, who was my age, who was my friend, suggested that I ask her mother about St. Anthony. And St. Anthony, according to, I believe, Catholic belief, St. Anthony can find things. That's one thing in particular that St. Anthony does. So I thought, really? And there's something that I had lost. I do not remember what it was. And I got home and I called on St. Anthony. And by the way, I'm not religious. I'm certainly not Catholic, but I respect everyone's religion. And I didn't want to come across as using their belief for my benefit. But I just thought, you know what? Let me try it. Let's just see what happens. And within 10 minutes of calling on St. Anthony, I found it. I thought, wow, what a great coincidence. So months went by, and I lost something else, and I just can't remember what that was. But I lost something else. I called on St. Anthony, and I found it within a few minutes. Then it got to the point where I could just think St. Anthony, and I would find it. I thought, what? I've been not knowing this entire time of my life. I could have been and found so many things. So I told my coworker about it. She had lost her purse in someone's car, and it had been, or she had left her purse, she thought, in someone's car, but apparently she hadn't, because the friend said that it wasn't in there. And so I told her, call on St. Anthony, you might be able to find it. So she did it, and it did not work. So I thought, maybe because I'm starting to use St. Anthony as a tracking device. That's not the way it's supposed to go. I know, because I'm not educated in it enough to know how you're supposed to do it. So I went to this ice cream shop, and there was a middle-aged lady with her grandson, and she was digging through her purse trying to find her wallet, and she couldn't find it. So she me, I said to her, you know what? I gave her the spiel about St. Anthony and how that worked for me. And she said, okay, she said, yeah, I know about that. She said, silly me, I already knew that. She said, I'm Catholic. And she spun around one time and said this incantation. And so I said, well, you'll be finding it. It'll work, because it worked for me. So she said to the cashier at the ice cream shop, she said, can my grandson just stay in here for a minute while I run out to my car? And he stayed there for about maybe 60 seconds, and she comes running back in with her wallet, and she said, it worked, I found it. So I was at the point where it was starting to be very familiar. Hey, you lose something, you call on St. Anthony. So I had went on a date, and I ended up losing my wallet at the mall. I thought, oh no, this is not good. I even questioned, did the date steal my wallet? I mean, he paid for our dinner and everything, so he wouldn't steal my wallet, but even still, you just never know. So I got home, I called him and asked him, did he ever remember what I did with it? Because I remember I had my wallet with me at the restaurant. But I thought, what did I do with it? So as I said, we went to the mall, we sat down, we talked, and couldn't find my wallet. No idea. But I'm going to insert a video in here. And when I'm saying this, I don't even know. I didn't even edit that video or even look at it. That's been almost a year ago, but I know it's still on my phone. Hold on. I'll insert it in here. So I called on St. Anthony, and something told me to also call the mall and see if someone had found it. Sure enough, a security guard had found it. They said it was in the lost and found, and I had to describe the contents of my wallet, and everything was dollars plus a few credit cards, my driver's license. Oh man, it was not something that you would want to lose. And I'll be doggone, I found it, and I tried to tip the security guard as a thank you. He wouldn't take it. He would not accept it. Which I thought was really sweet. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know if the ins and outs of St. Anthony, but I'm going to take the time right now and express my gratitude for every time, each and every time that I have lost something. I have literally found it since I was told about St. Anthony. And I'm not promoting religion on this channel. That's not even what it's about. This channel is not about religion. It is about so many different things. The paranormal. It's about metaphysics. And I guess now, today, this video, it's about St. Anthony. I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful to my friend and her parents who told me about St. Anthony. You just never know where a message is going to lead you. I need to tell you something else. I'm sorry. So this has to do with finding people in St. Anthony. My daughter and I were driving down the street. This wasn't too long ago. And I said to her, I wonder if that would work on missing people. If you lose a person, like not in death, of course, but if you lose a person, say a missing child or someone that's been missing, can you call on St. Anthony and will that work? I'll be doggone. I called on St. Anthony for this woman in the town that I live in. I called on St. Anthony to help find her. Because I could only imagine. I don't know the lady, but I could only imagine how her family felt. Not knowing where she was. And at that point, she'd been missing a couple of months. So, I called on St. Anthony. I'd worked the night shift before, so I was tired when I got home. Went to sleep, and I saw where my daughter had been calling me. She hardly ever calls me over and over unless there's something going on. And I saw she had called me a couple times, and I called her back, and she said, Mom, they found that woman. I'm not kidding you, I promise. And I didn't know what to make of that, so I started thinking, well, let me wait a couple of days and inhale, exhale, and get myself centered. Let me call on St. Anthony for someone else who's missing. I called on St. Anthony. Do you guys remember Nahendra? Is it Nahendra Davis? I'll put her name and picture up here. She's still missing, by the way. I called on St. Anthony, and we never found her. She was never found still. But her mother called me out of the blue within a couple of hours after I called on St. Anthony. Well, let me not exaggerate. It may have been more than a couple of hours, but no more than 24 hours after I said that, her mother called me. And she maybe will call me, maybe every 2-3 months, just to kind of keep in touch with me, let me know how she's doing. It's amazing the people that you meet via social media. So Nahendra Davis is still missing. Her mother still does not know where she is. And it has been, I want to say, about 6 years, 5 years. But yeah. So I of course got a little big-headed, and I started calling on St. Anthony for all kinds of missing children and missing, spouses and things like that, and I never got any return. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a string of coincidences. I don't know, but I am still grateful to. I guess, is it okay to say I'm grateful to St. Anthony? But I'm very grateful. I hope you guys have a really nice day. I am back doing videos. If you'll have me, I'll stay. And this is tomorrow again. If you need to contact me for any reason, my email address is still the same. It's misspsychicdetective@gmail.com. I am tomorrow again, though. Please thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I think this channel might be interesting. And for all you folks who are up there in age like me, let's hang out. Subscribe to this channel. Or if you know anyone who's up there in age, tell them, subscribe to this channel and we can hang out. This is tomorrow again. Thank you. And I send you love, peace in your life, and light.